Hello, Omega Dimension here, back for another cast of Tohya video. Last time we did a story evening that was like basically the post credits scene, as I like to call it, of Aika's route, just true ending. So Shiki survived, blah blah blah. So now, now then, we're going to one of my favorite ones, Crimson Moon. We saw a glimpse of it, just a mere glimpse of it. But you see why it's one of my most favorite one? It's one of my most favorite ones because it is very interesting. You see why? I also had to do a different voice. Oh yeah. The stars are close. The star over the deep valley was so high and clear, you'll be able to reach out to the stars and touch them. There won't be anyone else in the world that is as close to the heavens as the land. This is a highland, but if you simply compare the heights, then there are other lands that can boast their altitudes other than this. The real question that this land is close to the heavens is because this is where they were born. At times, the figure of the moon is sacred, even holy. It being large enough to cover the top of your head is like the cover of the sky, as large strikes a certain fear in you. The people of old wondered if the moon was about to fall down on them. That is the end of the world. Huh? The, the fear was not just absurdity, because the problem being that appearing on land was definitely summoned to bring forth the end. However, the world has not met its end. The concept of the world that we have built in is far stronger than that star had imagined. The crimson moon sheds its tears. It says in sorrow that it'll be a long fight, but even if it returns again as a new moon, it will not it is not the end. For all living things in this land will turn on it. Although time, which may be the ultimate factor, is on its side. Crimson Moon. Crimson Moon. Say, the moon is close. It suddenly occurs that a celestial body may be connected to this land. That was not the point. They say. They say they were created as a sensor of nature. But who was their mold? That primal being? That plant made them to resemble humans. But before that, one may create a sensor called true ancestors. We learned about the true ancestors. It's quite interesting. The reason why they are affected by the moon. The reason why they should be perfect or not. Real of the world. Is their purpose to return the planet as it was in the past. But can a planet which does not even have a mirror to reflect itself set its own standards? Where is the judge? After all, wouldn't the only being that can understand death of a celestial body be another body like it? A crimson moon hangs overhead. Wow, that is like a sight. That's quite lovely, I know they just color it red and it's like probably use monochrome red and stuff like that, but it's still quite nice. A crimson moon hangs overhead. It's like an eye shedding tears of blood. An observer that is both near and far. I remember correctly with Time Moon lore, the first, at least before the True Answers, or the ultimate one, it's called Broomstick of the Crimson Moon. So I guess the red moon is appropriate. Wow, fucking CGI landscape again. Huh? I opened my eyes with a strange sensation. It's like I am myself and someone else. Like I, Tomoshiki, is in this cloak of a man called Michael Roa Van Markion. And that's why I changed my voice. Amid this or disturbs my sleep. I'm understanding myself as myself and someone else. Like Michael Ro Bahagmayong, and reside inside the conscience of a human called Toshiki. Versus the dumb one. That'll definitely be me, because this is a world based on my memory. However, such an emotional recollection of the past wouldn't be possible for me. So that means this world is my world. I am myself and I am you. Then this must be a dream. It is a story that can only exist as acolyte that is both past and future. Is it? If this dream, then that will be okay. The time spent in the gap is probably just an instant. It is a contradiction that can be understood with acquired knowledge, as one will be forgotten in a second. Oh, this is high concept stuff that you're talking about fucking dreams now? The space of time is unnecessary, but it's not that big of a waste. /1? I don't get it. Oh, this thing again with that lady, I guess. The room assigned to me was a windowless, so the moon was inside. The castle standing in the valley was really silent. They, the masters of the castle, and the dead apostles who served them, were both keeping their presence and emotions silent, as if silence was a virtue. That was very pleasing for me. I visited a messenger of the church. In order to destroy the fallen true ancestors, the church secretly asked, rather demanded for their help. And they cooperated actively. The number of fallen true ancestors that walk this land is around 10. It was not a number that the true ancestors could handle by themselves. And it was the same for the church. And they were in need of an organization. They were in need of an organization of the church, so they accepted me as a priest of the church. To elaborate, I am one who planned and activated the Brew Agency. Yeah, he's the one who created the Brew Agency, which Kirei and Face Saint Knight was a part of before he went to Fuyuki and all that Fate Zero stuff, as we all know. That I will play eventually, probably after this, or maybe another game. I don't know. I'll play it really. I have to think about it. I'll have enough time to think about it, I guess. They trusted me as an ally imposing the fallen true ancestors. However, I was already in a state of unsuited for the clergy. The reason to visit this castle was completely different from what they thought. I was here to create a new fallen ancestor and to reap its benefits. My size has gone such to a level that it is impossible to conceal a body of a human. In order to find a way to continue, I must become a vampire creature, known as the Dead Apostle. The night is deep. Now, I will have an audience with the princess. The Moon Princess, as she's called. There was a rumor of a true ancestor killing true ancestor being born. The rumor said it has the name Brunstead. If that is so, then it would be the true ancestor royalty. If it had defeated 3 fallen ancestors with ease, and its existence was confirmed by several witnesses. It is said that it has golden eyes and hair, and it assumes the form of a female, which is rather rare among the true ancestors. Isn't now? Wait, so most of them are male? Is that what you're trying to imply? I don't know. That's what I got from that. However, the church is still denying her existence. That's natural. The church is conservative. It won't be possible for them to admit the existence of a being that rivals the Crimson Moon in scale that easily. However, the rumor is undeniably true. The castle, which has been a little more than a ruin after the disappearance of the previous king, is a solid evidence. The Millennium Castle has been resurrected by a new curator. They are back home after 600 years and are enjoying peace. So time inside the castle, the ultimate safeguard. The castle reflects the new Brunson state of mind. However, the castle that I visited was definitely not a rusted one like this. At that time, before I associated with the princess, the castle was white and pure and always sincere. Flowers were blooming in the garden, and, and a breeze circulated regularly. But now, what has happened? Rusted walls, an empty corridor. The air is stationary, the garden is in ruins, and the path leading to the castle is covered in chains. It was definitely abnormal. Just until yesterday they were, and though they were silent, the castle was blooming with life. And now I'm the only survivor. The true answers within the castle were all exterminated. Wow, that's very interesting. Wait, that means there were two answers. I know there was like some left. I think those were the final ones, except for her sister. I don't really understand that. I think her sister became like a dead apostle, if I remember correctly. The cold is extreme. All doors that lead to the throne are closed. All doors lead the doors to the king, to the kingdom. Facing night. That's what I thought when he said that. The chains that extend from the outer walls are clustered towards the throne. There was a window, and the throne was inside. Beyond the closed doors is the heart of the castle. The cold is spawned from the hearth and is freezing the entire castle. I look down at the throne. Yeah, this is the most amazing CG. When you say Arcade sleeps, well, you truly do mean Arcade sleeps. There's more of a prison than the throne. That is how it looked. The chair is heavy. The sin is deep. The sin is deep. The tangled chains become a thorn crown, praising the lonely princess. To the extent that being a grant so was the king alive. I pity her. Is that the result, Roa? Does it occur to you? Well, yes. This is the result. But I don't have time to worry about such matters. She's not what I pursue, and I no need to free her. The throne is the north sky. The rose-colored dust continues, and in time it will probably destroy her. The sounds of chains echo throughout the castle. I cannot save her. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. If you can't do it, then I will bring her out. That's fine. Whenever the princess is saved or not, it won't affect me in any way. However, I do not deny this is our point of contact and boundary. 1,000 chains. But the chain princess between I and I have our backs against each other. Now for a moment. It is time that cannot exist. Let us each start his day. The room assigned to me was a window, so the moon was in sight. The castle standing in the valley was really silent. They, the master of the castle, and the apostles who served them presents, science is a virtue. That was very pleasing for me. Okay, still the same person. I was wondering, was this Shiki or what? Because the way they were talking about it. The appearance of the castle changed drastically. The building without people dies immediately. They were exterminated, and the castle ceased its activity as well. I move into the inner yard. The fountain is dry. Such a tiresome man. I didn't expect you to remain in this castle. That was not the chained princess at the throne. She's still bound in there. This is a being hiding her consciousness, waiting for a time to fuse of her. It is an honor meeting with you, Brunstead. I never thought I'd have the chance to speak with you like this. Anyway, You in this state seems to me that it'll be difficult for the princess to see the crimson moon.
You are still skilled with words, priest. Why not see if you can free her with that tongue? You are able to make her drink blood. Maybe you'll be able to unbind these chains.
Oh, so he already made her drink blood already. That's very interesting. So that means he stayed like a bit afterwards after he made Arthur drink his blood. So I wonder. That's very curious. That's very bold of him, but curious. I politely refuse. What will I do after unbinding the chains? I have no way to keep her in control.
But it will be a reference. By your method, the increasing impurity will result in ruin. A human soul cannot withstand the outside world without a body. And if you become a dead apostle, you cannot escape the corrosion as long as your base is human. So like myself, you must prepare a successor. Only when a body of my scale is spawned does the crimson moon manifest.
Wait, what? Only when a body of my scale spawn does the crimson moon manifest. I have no idea what that fucking means. I was like, what? What does that even mean? Like, I'm okay, like, I get like she has a different consciousness that she separates and joins when the time arises, but that makes no damn sense. I don't get what that second part what she means. About that matter, I desire that simplification. Me too. I want to cut the user's self-fight to keep influence in the middle as possible. I do not wish to maintain a world corrosive will, as in your case, Brew, instead.
You speak bold words. Do you mean to say that you understand what I am?
I do not understand. What I do know though is that your process is not very effective. Though you were born as an ultimate being, the ones born after you were all too imperfect. You're the only one that went right, and the other true answers were just failures, weren't they? So you decide to modify this. The true answers are just that phenomena occurs by need, but you taught them how to create it with their own hands. The reason is simple. You desperately need a true answer at the same degree of purity as yourself.
Continue.
It means that your life is reaching its end. To the true answers who do not have a predetermined lifespan, death is something that results from an external event. You have to make enemies. Generally, the true answers are accepted as a spirit of nature. That's why the beasts of Alaya would not oppose them. Alaya, this is a thing. Is like, if you don't want Alaya is actually mentioned, and like in Tsukihime. I think it's the first. No, I think it's the first time Alaya is actually the first time I mentioned Tsukihime. Like you won't see it like mentioned again until like Face Day Night and Archer's Route. The true ancestors are more than just an enemy of the human race. They are the keepers of nature as well. Our subconscious both accepts and denies the monster called the true ancestors, so Allied Beast does not recognize them as a target of elimination. However, you, the original, were different. The Crimson Moon cannot exist by Gaia or Alaya. You foresaw the upcoming modifications, and you need to find a body to prepare for the extermination. Yeah, yes, one time Gaia is actually mentioned. Yeah, Gaia is the will of the planet, and Alaya is the will of humanity. It is be one, but Alaya separated itself from Gaia, because Gaia did not. And so I think, if I remember correctly, Gaia did not like humans because it just goes living all these phantasms of beast. That's I think is an edge of the world now. So summon the Crimson Moon and all that true ancestor stuff. Though the Crimson Moon does not exist anymore because Zeltrich killed the son of a bitch, but he got turned into a vampire himself, so who can say who actually won that battle? Just say if there's a loser one. Even then, you wouldn't have imagined that you, a true ancestor, will be defeated by a human. You are too late in recognizing magic, the rule outside the rules. That's why you were surpassed by the old man of jewels. Because of the unexpected event, you were exterminated just before the perfection of a successor. Leaving behind the reality marvel that will spawn the true answer, a seed in which you embedded yourself. Huh? So he's talking to the Crimson Moon, because the Crimson Moon is an ultimate one. The 27 ancestors are no more than a footprint than you made in this world. No matter how much you try, a true answer of your level of purity will not be born. So you begin to test other possibilities. One of the results will be Altruch Brunstead, but even she hasn't reached the level high enough to see her control. Yes, she's now a dead apostle. She may be more powerful than the Crimson Moon in a way, but Alter herself is too unstable. Then a true successor will spawn naturally, a method that you have given up by then. After the death of the Crimson Moon, the true answers who the Crimson Moon has scorned upon has succeeded in creating a perfect body. Something that the Crimson Moon was unable to produce. That is Arquette Brunstead. However, she put herself in chains, so it seems that she's not able. She's not in a state to accept you in.
Interesting. Then what do you think I am? If she's not accepting the Crimson Moon, do you mean to say I am not the Crimson Moon?
Certainly. Every true ancestor has a place inside of him to accept the Crimson Moon. It is a rule that you made yourself. But that is just an aspect of the Crimson Moon. Every true ancestor is an incarnation of the Crimson Moon, but at the same time, a totally different being. For this reason, the princess who's talking to me right now is no more than a shadow of Arquette Brunstead. You are not yet confirmed as a Crimson Moon. As long as Arquette Brunstead is called Arquette Brunstead, you cannot be the Crimson Moon.
If what you say is true, then it certainly makes sense that I exist in this manner. Indeed, I'm just a hologram that has a possibility. It was I who didn't know where I stand, and the thing I was planning to take over. No, there's no need to be
disheartened. Since Arquette Brunstead is bound to change, she will give up her name in a while. Then the empty body will be yours. You told me to free her, but it's actually the opposite. If the Crimson Moon is to reincarnate, it's best to leave her as she is.
Is it? So it's impossible for you to unbind those chains.
Yes, it's impossible for me to free her. The princess left. The fountain is dry. What I desire is not here, so I desire to return to the guest room. Three. I know this is not the longest one, so I said not longest one. It's already 24 minutes already passed. The room assigned to me was windowless, so the moon was in sight. The castle standing in the valley was really silent. They, the masters of the castle, and the dead apostles who served them, were both keeping their presence, emerging sun as if it was a virtue that was not comfortable for me. The appearance of the castle remains unchanged. The castle walls are hard in despair, and not speak of when it is through the closed doors. When was it? I once had a dream just like this. I walked toward the cathedral, my foot echoing like screams. place that looks like into the throne. She was there in the frozen cathedral.
It's you. You don't seem to tire easy, and you bring someone like him with you.
Sorry I disturbed you, but without him I have no points of... Not have I disturbed you, but without him I have no points of contact this place.
So it is. You're not related to this castle in the first place. Then it'll be best to leave quickly. You had no business with me from the start, didn't you?
No, that's not it. I felt someone was missing in our last conversation, so I'll try to see the next part of it.
I don't understand. What do you mean something was missing?
Well, I mean that this time I'm here to see you.
As I thought, you are mixed with him. Humans are quite noisy beings.
Noisy? Hey, how come you're so conceited? I didn't say that to flatter you, and didn't lie about it either. I'm just here to meet you and do something about that dignified face of yours.
Indeed, if you were a assured man, she would have killed you outright. So she really is getting along with such an impolite person.
Hey, it's not like I'm a rude one. You are a princess, and your hands seem to speak a lot quicker than words. You'll kill me someday if you keep on smacking me over the head whatever happens, you know.
Your speech is pointless. You're speaking of her actions. It's useless to complain about that to me. Speak your complaints to the person in question.
I am speaking to her. Your Arcade.
Such a foolish human. How many times I must tell you? I'm just an aspect of Arcade Brunstead. The Arcade you know is a different being.
I thought I know that, but you're an aspect Arcade, aren't you? Then it's the same thing. You have long hair. You talk with an accent, and you don't know me. But that's not important at all. This is the first time he mentioned she talks with an accent. Actually, now think about it. Where is she actually? Where is it? I know that she looks Caucasian. That's all I know that. Or she looks a bit Caucasian. Like so, somewhere in Europe. That's all I can say. Maybe Western Europe, because I doubt she's in Britain. Or she would say,
the gloomy skies. Just like home.
She would say something like that, or okay. Important at all. If you're part Arcade, that means you're Arcade. Okay, that is fucking adorable. To think this Arcade is adorable like that. Wait, did I say something weird?
You did. You surprised me. Indeed, if I exist as myself, it'll be bad for you, will it not?
The one who desires you is the one who is bound by chains, not the one that exists here. Well, yes, Arcade that I know, certainly not you.
Then why do you speak words that tolerate my existence? Does not contradict your purpose?
Does it? This is a contradiction?
Of course it is. You are the one that is shielding her. If you, her ally, accept me, the enemy, naturally the Crimson Moon is near. You're trying to hand her over to me with your own hands.
Oh, is that so? But that's not much of a problem. If that happens, then I'll get the Arcade the way I know back by force.
Do you mean to say that you'll fight me?
Fight you? Fight Arcade? Now that's a contradiction.
Fool, wanting her means fighting me. Do you so speak such words? That you can save Arcade Brunstead, who has been bound by chains from long past.
Yes, I can save her. Silence. Then filling a faint yet absolute gap, she speaks.
This is the past. It's the world where you shouldn't be and therefore won't appear again. Farewell, human. I hope your words will come to be more than just a joke.
A gentle request. It seemed like an awkward request that betrays her noble self. Now, to return to the rightful memory. The room assigned to me was a windowless, so the moon was in sight. The castle staying in the valley was really silent. They, the master of the castle, the dead apostles, who served them, were keeping their presence, motion silent, as if silence was a virtue. And there was a chance it's silent. The silence sinks deeper into silence. The owner of the castle is back. It's not the silence, the return of the king, rather. It is silence, fearing the return of the heretic. Looks like our dream ends here. My last memory of this castle is approaching. It's best for you to just observe. The night is deep. Now, to have audience with the princess. The moon is blue, so bright overwhelms the stars. The wind is passing through the castle like it flows like blood, or walking as if we're possessed. That'll be because both I and I know the scene. I know this image, a scene imprinted in my retina forever. A figure under the moon that I'll never be able to forget. The demon that had taken my sincerity, and dazing white moon guard, a figure that was simply too beautiful. Now, just admire that. This is a far. We've seen the scene before, like we saw like a. Yes, but this is a far more better updated version. I quite like it, and far more better. It's quite elegant actually. Simply too beautiful. There, everything was that surprised what I pursued, but I was young and stubborn, and unable to accept it, unable to understand it. I armed myself with hatred. I have no regrets. I had stalked all that I pursued, everything that was my being, in possession of it. There was no mistake. I got my hands on what I wanted. Surprised, I corrupted her here. I must heal her here. I will surely meet her here. I will surely meet her. I shall surely meet her. If that is what is promised, then there's no reason to hesitate. Even if I know the outcome. I start to walk. She stares at me if there's something strange. The flowers scattering in the wind speak of conclusion. I look up at the heavens. In sparse sky, there is the crimson moon, a moon as red as blood. In the ruins are sinners imprisoned. I bound in 1,000 chains. The princess of true ancestor continues to sleep. Gazing at the sight that I had never seen before, I decided to wake up. Farewell, princess. If we will ever meet again, may it be an unfamiliar place in an unknown time, under an uncomfortable sun. Well, that was like very nice, and that was pretty short actually. But that's like one of my favorite ones, because it actually shows Roa like you see his perspective. It's quite interesting. You don't actually see that many times, but that was fun. And also we unlock a few CGs. Like we can okay, let's go to graphics. Dream. No, those are like the other ones. Yeah, we unlock this one. And this one. We unlock this. Beautiful as it is. It's quite a nice view. So I'll probably end this here. So Omega Dimension out. Bye!